it's Jean from the Inky Studio. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be working on a new project, and it is going to be a small journal, roughly 4 by 6, with a hard cover and a lace spine. It's a very wide spine in this particular one, and the reason is that I'm not going to just put in pages, signatures. I'm going to put in like little mini sections from cardstock. They'll be like mini folios within the journal. So you'll see as we go on what I mean by that. So let's get started with the instructions for this part.
For the cover, I'm going to start with a chipboard. You could also glue 3 or 4 pieces of cereal box together to make it heavy. And how I measured my size was I just folded an 8.5 by 11 paper 4 ways into fourths, and that's the size that I'm going to go for in this journal. Now I have a directional pattern on my paper. I'm allowing 3/4 of an inch all the way around, and so that I stay aligned with that direction, I put a measurement down, 1 inch measurement down on the side of that, or 3/4 of an inch, to make sure that when I go to glue it together, it will be straight. And then I'm going to put a heavy layer of a glue stick down here, and I am using the Scotch permanent glue stick. It's called Scotch Create, and I find this sticks very well, but you might have your favorite. And then we're going to go ahead and align that line there so that we know that our cover is straight, and checking to make sure that the direction is straight and everything, and it looks good. So I'm going to burnish it. And now I'm going to fold along the sides all the way around, crease it really well. Then miter the corners. And so I'm cutting in sort of a curved motion right up to, but not quite to that corner, allowing about 1/8 of an inch to come out. Now you could also cut straight across if you want to, but I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a curve there. And I'm going to place a white glue, and I'm using glitter glue here, and I'm going to glue the long sides first, and I'm making sure that I'm putting glue right there on the edge, along the edge of the chipboard there, as well as on the flaps. Then I'm going to come into the corners and just sort of encourage that little extra 8 that's sticking out on that corner. I'm encouraging it to fold over just a little bit, and getting to the edges of each flap. And then I'm going to kind of go over with my burnishing tool, just to fold down those little corners even more. I like covering paper I like covering chipboard in this way, because then the edges then are covered, and you don't see that dark brown edge of the chipboard. And so once we've done both of those, I'm going to cut some fabric for the spine, and I measured it so that I had at least 1 inch that I will eventually glue onto my cover, about, well, maybe 3/4 of an inch on each side. And I'm putting in a 3-inch spine, which is really wide spine. And the reason I'm doing mine this way is because I'm putting a lot of bulky things into it. If you are just sewing in signatures of paper, 1.5, 2 inches probably would be plenty. But it just all depends. And here I'm going to cover it with lace because I felt that it was kind of a plain. And I wanted lace in the beginning anyways, and I using uh, that muslin piece as a foundation to lay my lace down on. And so I'll just film how I went about creating that spine. So I'm going to sew all the way around the edges. I'm sewing down the middle of that ruffle, and there you go. It is all attached together. I think I put that little medallion there as well. Now you can glue the spine over your cover and have it show if you like that. But I wanted the full cover for my for the decoration I'm putting on it. I wanted the full cover to be exposed. So I am gluing my covers over the spine. And I'm using fabric tack for this. I've got like, 3/4 of an inch of glue. I am going to place them both sides down, and make sure you do a lot of pressing with fabric so that the glue has a chance to really seep in to the fabric. And I will glue the back side together, and then I will make sure that they're 3 inches apart to do my spine. Now, I do not want to sew in my lace spine, so I'm going to put in another piece of fabric, a heavy piece of fabric there, to sew my signatures onto, and then I will sew that whole cloth onto that lacy spine. But it's not a step you have to do. You can sew your signatures right onto your spine. Now, if you find it a little bit lifting there, I'm just adding a little bit of extra glue. I'm kind of adding a glitter glue because it dries clear rather than fabric tack that can be shiny, and just making sure that those are all pressed down. Now I'm going to create a cloth envelope, and I've got two pieces that of course will fit inside the journal, and I'm folding it in half to make sure it will fit in. And then for the lining, I've got a piece of satin. I just thought this would be kind of pretty for the theme I'm going for. I'm going to sew all the way around except for about 3 inches so that I can turn it inside out. You do not have to do this. You could definitely leave just the raw edges. And then I'm going to, make sure my corners are come out gently force them open with a tool. Here's a burnishing tool I used. I'm going to iron it, and now it's going to fold up like this and the flap come down, and that's essentially the shape of the envelope. Now I accidentally sewed the side of this together, and I had to take it out because you're not supposed to do that. I'm putting a button in at this point, and then I'm going to sew all the way around it. And I have ironed it down, and now I'm going to put the little tie there to put around the button. I'm going to stitch that down, and then stitch over some lace. So now we have it creased, we have a crease there, and what I will eventually do is sew that crease into my uh, spine and glue the sides. So I'll show you again in a moment. I took the inside fabric there that I'm going to put my signatures on, and I've ironed 1/4 of an inch starting from the middle. I've just pressed it 1/4 inch approximately, and over about 2 on each side, so that I have in the end five of these little lines. Now it might be easier for you just to take a ruler and start from the middle and lightly mark off 1/4 of an inches to know where to put your signatures at. I'm going to sew that envelope then and glue up the sides, and that's how it will sit in the journal.
I did want to add a few things before I leave on this section, and that is the spine, the cloth I used for the spine. I used a heavyweight cotton. It's sort of like a twill. Um, it's a heavyweight cotton as my base. And then, of course, the next part of the spine is also this heavyweight material. What I wanted to point out was that if you are going to do like a pretty fabric or whatever for your spine, you'll want to choose uh, 2 layers, because a lot of cotton is a little bit too light for it to go be by itself. So my rule of thumb is to do a lightweight and a heavyweight together, or 2 medium weight cloths. But you will want to double and maybe even triple it up a little bit if you're using a lighter weight fabric in there. So just a heads up on that. I also wanted to show you that I'm doing another small journal along with that one, in pretty much the same concept. Only the pages inside here will be a little different type. So in this one, I am planning to sew right onto the spine. So I just went ahead and glued in my, I have a heavy and a medium weight cloth together, glued them into my covers, just like I did the last one. And just wanted to show you something a little bit simpler of what I am going to be constructing. This will be a pink Christmas journal, a December daily type of journal, and I made it sort of this album shape because I thought it would be really nice. It'd be easy to put pictures in here if you wanted to use it as a photo album. So that is another project I'm doing alongside this one. So please subscribe so that you know when part 2 comes out, and we will see you real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.